As I click through each of the new configurations, you can see there's a slight problem with the narrow configurations. The horizontal components are all too long. If I take a look at the properties of the top component, you can see it actually does have a narrow and wide configuration. In fact, each of the horizontal components have these configurations available. All I have to do is activate the correct configuration of each component in the corresponding configuration of the assembly. Now this can be done directly through the design table. You'll find it listed here under the Configurations Manager tree, where you can right-click on it and select Edit Table. You can also access it from the Edit drop-down menu, although you may have to customize the menu to include the design table listing. Once the table is open, making sure the correct cell is highlighted, I'll double-click the top component. Notice the syntax that is added. It specifies state, as in resolved or suppressed. Now I'm not interested in controlling the state. I need to specify a particular configuration. Unfortunately, there's no way of automatically populating the configuration syntax into the table. Instead, I'll overwrite the state and manually type in the word configuration. Note that the name of the property, configuration in this case, is not case sensitive. The actual names of the configurations you'll type in are, so be careful with your typing. In this case, I'll type in wide for the wide configurations and narrow for the narrow configurations. I'll repeat this same procedure for the component named front and the component named back. Remember to overwrite the state property, and also remember you're working in Excel, so copy cells whenever possible to avoid typing errors. The next component I need to change is the shelf component. Once again, I'll select the next column header, double-click the shelf component, and repeat the process. The shelf component is used 3 times in this assembly, once for each of the shelves and once at the very bottom. When the narrow version of the bookshelf is used, I want all instances of the shelf to be in their narrow configuration. If you look at the syntax in the table, the name of the component is followed by a number in brackets. This number represents the instance of the component. If you wish for a property to apply to all instances, simply replace the number with an asterisk. This is interpreted as a wildcard and will address all instances of the shelf component in the assembly. With all of this complete, I'll again click in the graphics window to close the design table and update the configurations. Now, when I cycle through each one, all of the components update successfully.